So, we are back here at Bennett's British Superbike Championship. It's round 9, yeah.
I think so.
Round 9 of the Bennett's British Superbike Championship. And we are at OULTON Park. This is my local track and one of my favourite tracks. You can't not like it, it's amazing. Enough of that, I'll just show you around and show you why it's such a good track. Come on! Come on to the start straight here that is not straight. It just keeps coming left on you all the way over. It's not smooth. You will end up wheeling, but then you'll jump on the brakes. About here, there's no proper feeler of where to brake. There's no point there. And usually, you know, you've done it right when you jump on the brakes on the bump, because there's usually a bump about here somewhere, and the back end always kicks up on you pretty high. But you're going to be 4th, 5th, but you're probably always back to 3rd here. And this is a really good corner, but you can always end up getting sucked into it quite fast because it's such a late apex corner. So you come in really deep here. You want to be about out here. You don't turn in early here. You want to leave it quite wide, and then your apex is not till you get to these grids here on the inside, and you want to start working it across. Really, you kind of want to square it off and then just fire the bike out as fast as you can. But it does go on an incline on the way out of here, so you end up coming out, can't see the outside curb, so you don't know how far to come out, so you just kind of nail it, hit the curb, sometimes go over, and you end up wheeling coming out. You're on the rear brake, you're trying to stop it from wheeling, but still trying to get as much speed as you can down towards Cascades. We've come out of turn 1, 3rd gear, then you'll work your way up to 4th gear, and then 9 times out of 10 you'll hold 4th gear and work your way towards the limiter just before you come into this right-hander. Now this right-hander is really fast. It drops off down the hill to the right. You can't really see where you're going, but you just want to keep tight to the curb on the right side, and then just start setting yourself up, jump on the brakes, back a gear to 3rd again. The bike's going to get quite out of shape. Since they've re-tarmacked it, it's a lot better. Now you can be a lot more committed, go boom, boom, chuck it in on its side. It's a tricky corner to get yourself into, this left-hander, but we'll talk about it a bit more when we get down there. So we're here at Cascades into the left-hander. This is a very positive camber corner. It banks in a lot more than you think it does. You want to come a nice line, not too tight, not too wide. Whereabout feels right for you. You can't really do the wrong line into here. And then just work your way in, get yourself down to the curb, ride the curb all the way round until you exit. You can't really go wrong. Easy corner, does it for you. Auto pilot. You've come off this curb, you've banged it up, get it on the fat part of the tyre and start driving it out right the way to this curb. Predominantly England doesn't have the best curbs. They're not quite like Spanish curbs. Spanish curbs are lovely, you can run them all, and well, if you're going to run these you're probably going to lose time if you're going to do it every lap. Keep on the white line, but then here they flatten out. Use all of it, use as much as you want, but just don't go on the green because you'll lose your lap time. Down the back straight, you've come out of there 3rd gear, you'll get yourself right up to 5th gear down this straight. When you get a slipstream on down here and you're 3 abreast into Island Bend, it's an amazing feeling, it really is. But I was just explaining to Lol off camera that when you jump on the brakes here, you come over this brow, and just as you're about to jump on the brakes, it starts to wheelie on you because it starts going up and then it goes down quite quick. When you jump on the brake, your front wheel's actually in the air, so you kind of need to use a bit of rear brake just before you're going to jump on the front brake, so that you don't go whap, bang, jump on the brakes with the front end in the air, because you'll jump on the brakes, you'll go back to 4th gear usually, or 3rd, and you'll chuck it into this left-hander and you go into here so fast. The amount of front end moments you'll usually have through here over a weekend is quite scary. There isn't actually much runoff, and you are doing well over 100 mile an hour around this left-hander. Back to 3rd or 4th gear, really fast. You're on the brake still trailing a bit into there, but then you'll start to pick the throttle up, and you find once you pick the throttle up, your problems all go away. It all smoothens out for you. It's a lot nicer ride. Your gauge is this middle line. You don't really want to come over this line, but sometimes if you're trying to make a pass for the inside into Shell Oils, you'll sometimes come over the line, you'll give it a bit more gas, you'll just try and get that bit more out this left-hander to then jump on the brakes. But 9 times out of 10 you want a nice line just to set yourself up for the right-hander really. You can brake really late into here. This itself is grippy tarmac, but then it goes into one of the most banked corners I think we'll ever see in racing history, unless it's a Monza or something like that. But it,
Came back.
unless Rockingham comes back, Nürburgring's probably your closest thing now. When you've got your elbow down and you look at pictures, in theory, you're pretty much upside down when you go round here. But you can brake really hard because you can push the front end quite hard into the bank because it gives you a bit more grip. You can't really get it wrong. You go wide, you get it right. You go tight, you get it right. You go in the middle, you get it right. Doesn't matter. It's all about the exit, really. So I'll see you on the exit. It's not very level. It's quite banked. Go a bit wide in the middle if you can. You don't tend to have much control around here. You kind of go where the bike's putting you. But go a bit wide in the middle and then drive it across here. You want to have your knee, elbow, everything, full body across this grass. You want to be driving it on the upright as much as you can because it comes uphill and then all of a sudden the track starts to drop off the other way. That can catch a lot of people out. You see a lot of people have moments out of here and eyesight because it can catch you really abruptly. This was one of the places I really noticed that when we had the zero tyre to the X tyre, you could really benefit coming out of here with the X tyre because you could just ask for so much more. Whereas with the zero now, it's quite predictable. You can get a good feel for it. You can tend to spin it up, but if you can get it on the fat part of the tyre, it either spins and then it goes and then it tries to wheelie on you. Before you know it, you're nearly on the grass. Come out of there, second gear around there. Now you're back up to third and you're going to be on the limiter and you're going to run it all the way into this right-hander. We'll see you when we get there. Round this right-hander, you get to about where that board is back there or a bit closer. You want to go whoa, like over the right side here, and then you just want to pick it up, jump on the brakes. Don't jump on the brakes before you pick it up, otherwise you'll end up straight in that rector cell fencing. Back to second gear again, chuck it into this left-hander. You either want to go through it really quick or nice and steady and get it precise. I find some laps in a race, I'll end up blowing through it really fast because I'm trying to catch someone and you're like, bam, 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 out, gone. Qualifying laps the same. You come in fast, 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 out. In a race, when you're behind someone, you tend to back it a bit up into this first one, come to the left side, change direction, get a good run up the hill, and you can guarantee you might be able to make a pass on them down into Izzy's. This chicane is mad though. You come through that left-hander so fast, then you chuck it into the right-hander and you feel like you're going to lose the front, but before you get a chance to lose the front, you're already picking the throttle back up. Then you change your direction, and as you change your direction, you're going, wah, bang, you get into 100% throttle. Then you're grabbing the rear brake because it's trying to wheelie on you because you're changing direction. You want to try and keep off this left side curb. You want to just keep to the right side of it. This is quite a horrible curb. It sticks up quite a lot for cars, so it tends to unsettle the bike a lot. Keep your throttle on hard all the way up and over the hill. If you can get your weight a bit over the front of the bike, you kind of find if you get your helmet into the bubble, it helps you out quite a lot. But sometimes you kind of get your gear in right so you can clip the limiter just before you're going to go over the top, and it'll stop you wheeling so much and you get a good drive down the hill. But your limiter's your friend around here really, because if you can get your bike to work quite well with the limiter over the crest, you save yourself chopping the throttle and you save yourself with the rear brake. The limiter kind of caps everything off at the perfect time for you, and then once you've gone over, click another gear. You'll work your way right up to fourth gear down this hill. But on the superbike, we jump on the brakes between the 2 and the 1 board, so you're flat out down here. And if you've never endoed a bike before, this is probably your perfect corner to endo a bike. It happens so naturally because you're going downhill. You jump on the brakes that hard, the back end just automatically comes up on you, but you just regulate it with your fingers, keep it nice and smooth. BSB, the way the rules are with the electronic system, you benefit having the rear tyre on the floor. That's why you don't really see many people endoing so much, because we don't have an adjustable engine braking, maybe like Top Rack does. Top Rack's got corner by corner engine braking. We don't have that technology in BSB. If you endo, then lay it down, it'll really unsettle. So into here, it's good to play about with it, drop it down, back it in, chuck it into this right-hander. You can run on quite easy into here because you're stopping for quite a tight corner, but you've got plenty of run on straight on if you feel like you're not going to stop, or you can just go straight across the grass. You've done all your hard braking, now you're banging it into the corner last minute. Don't run over this inside curb because you will be on the deck. It's not a nice curb to run over, and if you do, just take like a millimetre. That will have you off. That's sketchy. But go straight across the white line. You can just sneak a quick blip of throttle after that right, so you can go whoop, change direction really fast, bang it into this left. This always used to be eyeside city out this left, but since they've re-tarmacked it, I haven't actually seen many people eyeside out this left. It's a really nice corner now. So you come out of this left, start building the throttle on. Be mindful that you've got a right-hander coming up next, so you want to go just middle of track really, then work your way back out to the grass and then get ready for the right-hander. All second gear through here. into the right, your main shut off, how you're going to shut the throttle off. Kind of don't really benefit anything if you roll off smooth into here because you don't load the front end up enough. So you want to go, wow, shut it off really fast, chop the front end, like just get it down on its nose. Bit of front brake, trailing it all the way around here. Not too much though, because you'll wake the front up too much and it does drop away from you. But then you want to pick the throttle up nice and early and drive it right out to the outside curb. If you feel like you're going to lose the front, just pick the throttle up, it'll take the weight off and you should be all right 9 times out of 10. You're usually going to, on a superbike, short shift 2 gears, just wah, ba, ba, and then you're going to get right back over to the white line on the right side and get yourself ready for the big climb up the hill, for the blind hill that you can't see anything. This is just a perspective to show you how steep this hill is. It's very steep. You can roll down it pretty easy. I've gone dizzy already just after that. Show no weakness. I've cut my wrist and scratched on my watch.
Oh, on with the track walk.
Onwards. Up this left-handed hill, you want to be keeping on this left side. It's really blind. Don't think you're going to come up here in your first session, think I'm going to have this hill nailed, because you just ain't. It took me a whole weekend to work out how to do this first time I ever come here. It's crazy. Even now you still come here and you nearly go on the grass sometimes because you can't see where you're going until you're here and you're doing like 140 miles an hour over that hill. It's pretty ridiculous how fast you're going over there, but you're nailing the rear brake, trying to keep the front end down, but trying to keep it smooth. It's really hard work getting over there on a superbike, but then you want to use as much track as you can without clipping the grass. And then work your way back into here, 4th gear, revs are working up, peeling into this left-hander, then you're going to be quickly jumping on the brakes, back shifting and into the right. See you there. Through this left, fast. This is a fast bit of track. You're tramming on here, ramming. Back, 3rd gear, change of direction. No matter what bike you're on, all of a sudden you're going to think your bike is well hard to change direction because the gyroscopic effect of your wheels is making it harder to change direction because they're going so fast compared to anywhere else on the track. So it always feels hard work to change direction here. Back to 3rd gear, chuck it into this right-hander. You haven't really got much runoff. Turn in early, out to the middle, turn it, back to the inside curb for the exit, and then pick your line, get ready, because it's rodeo time. You're going over the Druids brow, mate, or rise, whatever you want to call it. And there's always going to be something spectacular. Spectacular. I had a right mess there.
Spectacular.
Spectacular. There's always going to be something spectacular.
That was.
Over this brow. Over this brow. Send her on. Down to the last corner. It's going to be spectacular. We're down this final straight now, really. You can see where the people are walking. It's quite up and down. You end up wheeling the superbike quite a lot down there. Then you jump on the brakes. This is make or break, really. If you're 16th and you're trying for that point in 15th, last lap on the inside into here is probably where you're going to do it. Or if you're 4th trying to get 3rd, this is your courageous move. This is where it all happens. This is all where it goes down. This is quite a cambered corner again, so you can brake quite late into here, chuck it into this inside, and it tends to stick pretty well. But then the minute you come over the hill, once the front end starts unloading and you pick the throttle up, it becomes very off camber. So you want to be careful that you're not losing the front, you're not pushing the front too hard, too far around the corner. And then you want to be very precise. And there's Gromit showing us the perfect line. That's my mechanic, by the way. I know he's dressed up in full lycra like a professional cyclist, but he does know how to work a spanner because he's a tool. I love him to bits. Pick your line, get precise, don't go too wide, middle of track, maybe a bit more. Feed that gas on, get it on hard, short shift before the left-hander really. You'll make life a lot easier for you and work your way onto the start and finish. You're out the last corner, 2nd gear. Then you'll go 3rd gear down the bank. You'll kind of run 3rd gear as long as you can, and about here you'll go to 4th gear. The bike always doesn't like 4th gear here though, because it's trying to spin on you. The electronic system doesn't like when it's spinning and changing gear at the same time, so you kind of have to settle it out, then change gear, or just keep trying to go for it until it lets you have it. Keep on the rear brake, keep it nice and settled, as close as you can get to the barrier the better, and then run it out down the straight and send it on all the way for a 1 minute 24.5. That'll do you, that'll be a good time. No, 35. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. Yeah, don't trust me. I'll just show you around and maybe you'll go a bit quicker than you were going. Send it on! That's it. Alton Park track walk done. Round 9 of the Best British Superbike Championship. We're done. Thank you for watching. If you did enjoy it, send it to a mate. There will be a vlog out maybe Wednesday, maybe Thursday next week of the full weekend of Alton Park. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you soon. I love you all. I love the support. Peace. Send her on. Drive.